Hot Pass Podcast. Welcome back to the best podcast. We got the Clash this weekend. Who's excited? This motherfucking guy. The guy with the most beautiful handlebar mustache you ever seen on a tattooed fella. Okay? There's a lot of tattooed fuck boys, as some would say out there on social media, on Instagram, hanging out with tattooed OnlyFans girls. Not this guy. Okay? Not this guy. Don't know where I was going with that, but that's just how this podcast goes. The Hot Pass Podcast, as Chris Wormy would say, the Hot Guy Podcast this is who I am. This is who I am. Okay, and this time, we're on the Hot Pass Podcast. We got NASCAR this weekend. We got fucking snow coming, but we're not having an alcoholic beverage. Okay, we had some tacos tonight, the time of recording this, and I feel like I need a Monster. I feel like this is not very healthy, but so then we added it with a little water. Okay, we had to stay up a little later, edit the podcast, get it on YouTube, ready for you guys. You guys have been killing it on YouTube. So we're going to have a little bit of Monster, a little energy. We'll watch a little YouTube after this, get it all edited up so you guys can listen and watch. All right? So let's get the nonsense out of the way. Hot Pass Podcast on YouTube. Go watch it. You guys have been killing it. Over 100 views on the last 2 episodes. We're murdering it. You guys are liking. You guys are commenting. You guys are sharing it. I love this so much, and it's really building up to what's probably going to be the best year on the Hot Pass Podcast. I feel motivated. We're having a good time. So go over to the Hot Pass Podcast on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe to the podcast, comment on it. You guys are doing great. Let's continue it. Share it with another friend. Why don't you? Okay, because now we have the betting shows coming up soon. All right, we're going to have a little betting at the end of this episode for the Clash race. Going to be very weird. All right, a lot of drivers still have to get locked into through the last chance qualifiers and heat races and everything like that. Other drivers are already locked in because they won races last year, or however it works. I don't fucking remember. I don't really care. All I know is we got fucking bets to be hammering out here, okay, for the first time in 2026. So Hot Pass Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to check out the Hot Pass Podcast on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. Leave a 5-star rating. That's one thing you guys haven't been doing yet, is leaving 5-star ratings. I would appreciate it if you guys went and did that, and go share the audio podcast. So go listen to it while you're driving or at work. Don't just watch the YouTube. YouTube has been killing it, but let's get those little numbers up on your audio for your little ears. I understand I say a lot of things. You guys want to see the beautiful the mustache with the shirt I'm wearing, everything. But let's also hit the audio and leave the 5-star ratings. Let's do that. All right. So Hot Pass Podcast, go to @FurlongEric _ on TikTok and Twitter. You guys will see on a weekly basis when the full season's out. We'll have our full-on betting cards on Instagram. So that's Eric Furlong 21 on Instagram. Go follow me there. We've got some Ryan Williams reels coming out or whatever about his shirts that he dropped coming out Friday morning. But yeah, on Twitter and stuff, you're going to want, and Instagram stories, you're going to want to go follow me there because an hour before, 2 hours before the truck races in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, I'll have the full betting cards there, as well as I'll give out little hints and tips and of what I'm going for leading up to the weekend, my early picks. Okay, so that's Eric Furlong 21 on Instagram and @FurlongEric _ on TikTok and Twitter. And then Action Network, link is in the bio. We already have a bet for an outright. That link is in the bio wherever you find me. Action Network already have a outright bet for the Clash race. So how about that? So I think that's it, right? Let's get into it. Pull up the notes. I have a little bit of a heated thing I want to talk about at some point today. But as an Atlanta Falcons fan, I just want to start it off with this, okay? Because the Super Bowl is coming up. The Patriots are back into the Super Bowl, and I feel like I need to talk about something here. The Falcons haven't made the playoffs in a long time, and just before I came on here, reports say that we're releasing Kirk Cousins. Matt Ryan is super high up in the football operations now at Atlanta Falcons. You guys probably don't really care about this. You guys can skip through if you want, but I'm just going to be quick. My Atlanta Falcons suck. The Patriots beat us in the Super Bowl. We've done nothing since. I hope the Seahawks absolutely destroy the New England Patriots so I don't have to live through Another Patriots Super Bowl. I don't think anybody wants that unless you're a Patriots fan. Nobody on planet Earth wants the Patriots to win unless you're a Patriots fan. And I've been screaming about Drake May, about how dog shit he is, and so is everybody else. And he's just got so lucky through the playoffs. And I hope Sam Darnold does not choke this opportunity. The fact that we had to put our hands in Sam Darnold is unreal. But Kirk Cousins being gone, or coming up to be gone from the Atlanta Falcons, probably will be tomorrow. Friday at the time I'm listening to this. I couldn't be happier. And people will say this, and then we'll get into the NASCAR stuff. People are saying, because we finished off the season so well with Kirk Cousins, why didn't you just have Kirk Cousins all year? You don't think we tried that? You don't think we tried that in the previous years, and the guy sucked ass. Kirk Cousins goes from throwing 500 yards to 92 yards and 5 interceptions and like 7 sacks. The guy couldn't move. The guy will look like Kirk Cochains out of the blue, out of nowhere. And then when you keep him in long enough, like this is like, it gave us hope for a second at the end of the year. It's like, but that's not the long-term. That's not the long-term plan for the Atlanta Falcons. I'm a fan of losers. Falcons, you guys have heard this. Falcons, Leafs, Tigers. We're going to lose Scooble at the end of the 2026 season. Manchester United. My uncle's actually currently in Manchester, and I took a photo. He doesn't know that I'm a Manchester United fan. And you guys might think like soccer's gay or something, but shut the fuck up, okay? Little bit of footy. He's very nice. He's very... I'm all over the place with the accents right now. Shouts out. But he's in Manchester right now for work, and then he sends me a photo of Manchester United being like outside of the stadium, and I go, that's my favorite. And he's getting me a gift from the fucking store there. So shouts out to him. I've never had like a Manchester United jersey, so I'm kind of fucking hoping that's what it is. Spoiled. Okay, I'm 29. Spoiled. Gotta be 30 this year. Spoiled. All right. Anywho, let's move on to the big news. NASCAR Cup race at Bowman Gray. The Clash. And original reports were saying 6 to 8 inches of snow on Saturday. Now they're calling for what, 10 to 12? 8 to 12, whatever it is. God damn. And they're still going to go with the race. Like, they're going to be out in droves all night. Like, if I'm them, as a Canadian, you should listen to me. You should have people at the track all night, continuously trying to keep up with the snow, keep up with the snow in the stands as best as you can. Be there bright and early in the morning with a new crew. Get up there, get rid of the snow, stay on top of it. Parking lots, track. Honestly, if I'm them, put tarps down on the track and then pull the snow off of the track with a tractor. Do whatever you can. The bleachers are going to be a fucking nightmare. It's going to be like a Buffalo Bills football game. People tossing snow off into other people's seats. You're going to have a lot of volunteers getting up there with shovels. And I'm going to assume that in North Carolina, you're limited on shovels. All right, so this is probably going to be a shit show, and we're all going to talk about, should the Clash even be there, and should we move the Clash? If we were back out in California, shut up. This is great. I love the Clash. Don't ever, if there's anybody out there saying that, you stab them in the neck. Okay, shut up, cut the tongue out, okay? Ridiculous. Ridiculous words, okay? It's going to be very interesting. They have the, Bob Pockrass put out that all the events, or NASCAR, everybody put this out, but they're moving all the events from Saturday to Sunday, so I think that's including the modified race as well. So that's going to be interesting. I have a tough feeling, or a tough inkling, or I have an inkling. Okay, let me get another sip of this fucking Monster energy drink. We're losing it right now. I'm also drinking Monster because on the last weekend when I went out snowmobiling on Saturday, wore a Rockstar fucking jacket and felt like a piece of shit to my friends at Monster. Tagged them in it, and they were ripping me a new ass. Now, Rockstar is basically irrelevant now, but I said, give me a Monster jacket and we can make this right. Nothing coming from my side other than love, care, and hospitality and hugs and kisses. But if they want me to just stop wearing that nonsense of the Rockstar energy drink jacket, well, then we'll have to get one sent in the mail, don't we? So, Yeah, I have an inkling that they're not going to get that modified race in. Unless they follow my guidelines as a Canadian, that you have people at the track all fucking night removing snow. So I feel like that modified race will probably be on Monday or something like that, early in the morning, and then all the guys just go home. I cannot see them having that modified race at all on Sunday with the amount of snow that's going to be coming down. Like, we have a tough time in Canada with 8 to 12 inches of snow and getting it moved off the roads in time and out of parking lots. I can't see them getting that. Like, this could be a really late night at Bowman Gray. Like, if they have this on time for practice and qualifying at 2 to 4, I'd be absolutely shocked and very impressed. Very impressed if they have it ready to go for 2. I feel like this is all going to get moved back and possibly racing for Monday. I still don't have the highest hopes for racing on Sunday, but as long as they're okay with doing it super late in the night, I'm okay with that. Unfortunately, at least here in Canada, we don't have a holiday. So I know that the Monday, I think it's the Monday after the Daytona 500, we have a holiday family day here. So I could stay up all night and just be pumped about the NASCAR season and the great weekend at Daytona we had. But for the Clash, I'm going to be fucked. I'm going to be so fucked if they do it super late. But the practice and qualifying, they're saying, is from 2 to 4. Last chance qualifier at 6. And then the Clash at 8. Good luck. Peace be with you, as the Catholics would say and the Christians would say. A peace be with you. Because that is going to be hell. We'll see. We'll see. I really hate that we're going to... I mean, honestly, though, like, if you guys think about it for weather-wise, last year, how many rain delays did we have? Not many compared to what we've had in previous years. I thought about that, I think, halfway through last year. I was like, man, we really have had barely any rain delays. So knock on wood, you guys can come back on me if I'm the reason why we have massive amounts of rain delays this year. But it's not a good start when we have 8 to 12 inches of snow coming in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Not a good start, dog. And man, when I see the crowd that they had at Bowman Gray last year for it, just makes me want to move down to North Carolina so bad. Take my union job, go down there, work for the union down in North Carolina, and run some job sites and just be in the heart of all of this NASCAR. God, I want to so bad, but with everything going on down in the States right now, I'm still coming down. Now, as my friends, we're not going to talk politics here, but I'll just say, a lot of my friends are like, why the fuck are you going down there? And it's going to be all year and until Trump's out that all my friends are going to be like, and family members are going to be like, why are you going down there? Why are you going down there? What, you think my friends are the ones that are nice killing fucking motherfuckers? What the fuck are we talking about? You think my friends that are even Republican are assholes? No. They're not assholes to me. They're not assholes to anybody I ever see. So we all love each other, right? Right. I love you guys. You guys are great. And every person I've ever met at a NASCAR race, or I've met at a gas station or a tattoo shop or campsites in America, across America, just haven't been out to the West Coast yet, have been great people. And so everything going on, just remember that at the end of the day, we all love each other. We all care for each other. We're all human. And the internet is a bunch of crap. Okay, yeah, this podcast is on the internet, so that's not really crap. But most stuff is just, if you go on Twitter, and if you just follow me, Chris Wormy, the boys that win the race, Greg Mathern and Ryan, a bunch of other guys, the Action Network shouts out, and Beast Unleashed, all those guys, you can just flood your whole feed with just NASCAR stuff. You can, or just go to the For You page. No, sorry, not the For You, following page on Twitter. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So we all love each other. There's one other thing, or another thing I want to talk about. We're going to get into the bets at the end of this, and I'm really excited. Let me have another sip of water here. I had a sip of Monster, sip of water. Got to stay quenched so your boy can keep talking. I hope you guys can't really hear me drinking water and stuff. I was listening to a podcast earlier today, and a guy was just scratching his beard into the microphone, and it was fucking with my ears. It was disgusting. Also, you know what was disgusting was today at the gym, another guy just fucking horking shit up, and there's signs all over the showers saying, do not do this anymore. It's enough. And all you hear is horking shit up and go, all right, hey, that's enough. That's enough. If you're sick, stay home. That's what I said. That's what I said. Because you're fucking disgusting if you do that in a public shower. I had a guy at the gym. We're going to get to all the other stuff. Of course. This is the Hot Pass Podcast. This is what we do, baby. This is what we do. And if you don't like it, stick around. It'll be all right. Well, I'm not going to tell you to run away because you're great people. You're great people that you've even made it this far. And we're going to continue. So, but I had a guy that I know at the gym a few weeks ago say, did you see the fucking signs on there? Did you see the signs on the fucking shower? I said, yeah. And he goes, the fact that they're telling me what I can and cannot do in the little box that's my shower. I said, wait, hold up. Your shower? Your shower? I thought this is a public shower. This is a public space. This is a public restroom, change room. I pay a subscription here to come here and shower and everything and work out. You think that you could just hork and spit and piss in the shower? Yeah. And I went, okay, you are losing this argument right now. What? What? You're arguing that you can do... Oh, brother, I said, do that at home. I said, I love you, but do that at home in your own shower. And sometimes I sit there and I go, how disgusting are people in their own homes? Now, behind the camera and behind the microphone here right now, I have laundry to do. But this is in my own home. I don't do this at the gym. Maybe I'm full Karen at the gym. Call me Karen Eric. Okay, call me Erica. I don't care. I pay this ain't no Crunch Fitness, baby. This ain't no $10 a month. I pay like over $100 a month for my gym membership. And I have the right to complain. God damn, this is Canadian dollars, so it's even way more American. But this is a high-class gym, brother. We jacked out here, bro. You see these fucking guns? You see these fucking biceps? I tried to come up with a different name for my biceps. Didn't really have any words for that, but hey, whatever. Colleague. Let's get back into NASCAR. How about that? Colleague. And this race for the seat is amazing. Great product. Now, let me look up what's his nuts name there or whatever from Colleague here. Colleague Racing. Because he's super annoying on the show, and he wants to... we have a host for a reason, but the guy just continues to like scream in the microphone and give us the... play-by-play, basically, of everything that goes on. And his voice is so annoying. Chris Rice. Are you guys the only one that thinks... Am I the only one that thinks that Chris Rice is annoying? Like, a great show. Unreal show. Like, Colleague has put it on. The production level, the drivers, the merch that they came out was pretty solid just for like basic like Ram Colleague truck merch and all the Carhartt sweaters and everything. Like perfect. But like the whole layout, the point system, the races, the RAM groups or whatever they have. And if you win, you move up into another group. The $5,000, the last chance race or the final race out of the winners of the three groups or whatever go and they race for $5,000. And this has been great. It has been unreal, the production of it all. But Chris Rice has got to stop. Like, I mean, obviously they've already recorded it and they filmed it and they put it out. But like, if they're going to do this again, which I highly recommend that they do this. This is top-notch stuff. I think this is great for NASCAR. I'm not going to lie. I honestly think this is almost better than the Drive to Survive. Full speed stuff. The full speed is like actually kind of shitty. Like it's not as good as I think it is. I mean, honestly, like it's for like Drive to Survive for F1, where like if you don't watch the actual full season and you just want to pop it on and watch, I feel like Drive to Survive is good. But if you watch the whole season, you know everything that's going on in the races, I feel like Drive to Survive is kind of ass, right? If you actually pay attention to F1. For me, I don't pay attention to every race, so it's fun to watch it. And also, like, Full Speed came out, like, in April, so we were already a few months into racing. So it was kind of fucking stupid. I don't know if anybody actually watched that. And I don't even know if we're getting another season of that. But I honestly think this is better. And I honestly think they should do this every year. They're killing it. Every year, do this. They've got so many trucks. They got 5 trucks. That 5th truck, do this every year. I think this is unreal. Gives an opportunity to a young guy that could show, or an older guy that has been looking for this opportunity to change his life. I mean, I feel like a lot of these guys, like 1 year is not going to be enough in the trucks, but maybe they have 1 or 2 good runs where it gets them those eyes on a national broadcast and gets them into another ride, right? And so I love what Colleague's doing, but just get Chris Rice from going, stop going, oh, you see that there? Oh, Minnie Tyrell, he's up there. He's doing his thing. Oh, no, he's not. He missed a turn. Oh, where's he going to get? Who's going to go? Who's going to do it? Who's going to be there? Who's going to get it on going? Then don't go to bone, going. Shut the fuck up, Chris. God, for the love of Christ, Chris, help us from our ears bleeding. Oh, you see that there? And he's going down here, and he's moving up there, and he's wrapping around, and he's going, and he's going, he's bumping, he's doing anything, and he's going to get down. Oh, hey, cool. We get it. We understand. We're watching the show. You don't have to comment on every little thing that's going on in there. The only thing I'd have to say is, like, the host of the show doesn't do much, like, talking. I feel like the host of the show is kind of pointless when you literally have all the guys from Colleague that basically are the host of the show, and you just add this guy on the side. I think that's the only thing that's kind of pointless out of it. But yeah, it's great. It's great. It's got me into wanting to buy Ram stuff. And obviously we're all going to support Butterbean. And I think we all hope everybody that's going to be driving in these trucks does well. Even early on, I hope that they do well and they perform really well and they give Butterbean the best truck possible, which I think they will. And I hope they succeed, man. I really do. After everything that we're seeing on this whole Ram truck stuff, I want them to succeed so bad. And it's Colic. I feel like they'll do really well. They were always, for a while there, they were really good in Xfinity series. And if you're going to drop down in a lower tier series, I feel like you're going to do great. And I mean, obviously, we're just in a new manufacturer, and we'll see how it goes, right? Yeah, but what else? What else we got in the notes? Oh, weird thing. I don't know if you guys noticed this. I don't know if this is Thursday or Wednesday. But every race you go to, you see Steps as the tow truck drivers. And maybe Joey Logano had a say in this, and Joey Logano's like, fuck these guys are idiots. But Steps moved to Miller Industries. So you're not going to see Steps tow trucks anymore. Now, let's be hard on these boys. Steps all those guys were always super nice to me. Anytime I've ever talked to them, the owner's daughter or whatever, she was super nice. She's older lady. Just everybody relax. And everybody chill. Shouts out. But her and her husband were great people. They're feeding me drinks at Talladega, and I got super hammered in the middle of the day. And my dad and my brother walked down the boulevard, and we were barbecuing food. They came back. We had a bunch of food. It was great. Good times. So hopefully they're at Talladega, even though Steps isn't doing it anymore. But to Miller Industries, let's be hard on them. Let's be critical of how they tow people. Let's be on them. At Daytona, if they don't get shit cleaned up, Atlanta, they don't get shit cleaned up, I'm going to be yelling, hey, Miller! Miller! Step it up, Miller! We had Steps. They stepped it up every race. I'll be that fucking hammer dude up in the States. And if you're at Atlanta, hit me up. I'll be there. Yelling, Miller! Look at fucking pissed. Bubba crashes. And you don't pick him up on time? You fucking racist, bitch? You fucking racist, dude? Fucking hold him accountable, okay? Hold Miller Industries accountable. The racist stuff, I'm just fucking around. Just fucking around, relax. This is the podcast. We're having a good time. We're silly. This is what we do. But just weird one, right? Now, here's the one that I really wanted to fucking talk about it. I really am fucking fired up about this shit. I burped. Just pardon me. Excuse me. Let me sign in since freaking... I don't even know if my fingertip's going to work here because I'm all cut up from work here. Just got to type it in here. Just give me one second. Since my fingertips, working with fiberglass and everything, my fingertips are all messed up. So it's not... for a few weeks, actually, on my laptop, it actually kind of registered my fingerprint. But anyways, I saved this. This is from Kenny Wallace. I just wanted to make sure. Kenny Wallace tweeted out a photo earlier on in the week. It was about 80s ladies, natural and beautiful. And there's, for the audio listeners, there's a, even though I'm not going to put this up on fucking YouTube. I might make a clip out of this calling out Kenny Wallace of like, what the fuck even was this tweet? Kind of came out of nowhere and you're an idiot. And I know, I understand Kenny Wallace is loved by everybody in this sphere, but like, what was it? What even was this? And as a tattooed guy, I just go, oh, let me come to the defense. Cause this guy's a fucking idiot. Like just a boomer mentality. So he quote tweets saying, when the ladies were all natural in quotations, now we have tattoos and nose rings and surgery with a laughing face. And it was like a photo of like, it says 80s ladies, natural and beautiful. And there's like a dirty blonde girl in a bikini on the left, red bikini on the left. I'm not going to describe it too much because I don't want all the dudes getting hot and horny here. And then a girl in like a floral bikini. She's like a fucking brunette on the right. And they're like skinny or whatever, right? And I go, dude, what? Like, what? Why are we even tweeting this? All you do is tweet NASCAR shit. And then, dude, the comments are fucking disgusting. Just old dudes around Kenny Wallace's age commenting about this shit. I just said, like, slop detected. Like, fucking slop. And then, like, I like my women how I like my weather. Moist and unstable. You know? Just the most misogynistic shit in these fucking or in the comments. And it's all just, like, old white guys just saying crazy shit. And I'm like, first off, little do you know, tattooed people are also some of the nicest, caring, and kind people. And also, back in the 80s, there was a lot of tattooed people, too. So, like, back in the 80s, when women were like this, it's like, well, back in the 80s, there was still tattooed people. So, back in the 80s, when women were tattooed, like, yeah, there was women that were tattooed, dude. So, like, I guess it all depends on who you surround yourself with. Also, surgery. People get fucking surgery. Who gives a shit? If, like, my favorite part about this is, like, hey, Kenny Wallace, check yourself. Your woman has probably never looked like this. She's a fat slob. So, if we're going to talk about women, and we're going to talk about, like, them, making fun of, making fun of girls with tattoos and nose rings and surgery. How about a tummy tuck? How about that? It's kind of rude of me. I do apologize already. I'm just going to say it now, but you pissed me off with this one. Just going, what is this even? Why? Like, why did we even tweet this? Nobody intelligent enough actually fucking commented underneath this. Other than me. BBLs. Hell yeah, brother. Don't forget the stupid duck lips that they make them look like a Muppet. Yes, they were also huge fans of the Bush series. Like, what the fuck even was this tweet, dude? Kenny Wallace, late at night. No, 10:32 a.m. So not even late at night. This is what he does when he's drinking his coffee and he's about to make a coffee video and put it up on Twitter. Hi, YouTube. What's going on? Bowman Clash getting 12 inches of snow. It's going to be interesting. What's Denny Hamlin doing this weekend? Like, shut the fuck up, dude. I'll call you out. I don't give a shit. Just a stupid, misogynistic, dumb tweet that has no substance to it. Nothing to it. So I thought I'd just talk about that and be like, hey, Kenny, back in the 80s, did your wife look like this? Did all the women go, oh, back in the day, like all women were just like, dude, there were still fat people out there. Like, what the fuck are we, what even is this? What even is this? I don't even know what the part of this podcast this is. I don't even know why I'm touching on this. So I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm an idiot too. But some of the hottest chicks out there are the ones with tattoos, and I understand that people have their preferences. But the hottest chicks out there, and I'm biased though, but goddamn, the women with tattoos, shouts out. And I have the belief that when these old fucks die off, right, and these old losers, and you're going to be the weird one that doesn't have at least one tattoo. Everybody's going to at least have one tattoo. There's obviously going to be people like me that are extremely heavily tattooed. There's going to be people with, 10 tattoos. There's going to be people with one. And you're going to be I truly feel outnumbered by the time I become like 60, 70 years old. The majority of the population younger than me are going to at least have one tattoo. And I cannot wait to see that statistic. And we're going to look back and remember those old people that were just stupid saying that people with tattoos are dumb and ugly? Well, here we are. You're dead, so it don't matter. Okay. Corey LaJoy driving the Henderson number 75 truck. Cool with it. Nobody likes Corey LaJoy. Yeah, I don't see him doing much. I feel like he crashes out fairly early. Okay. And Tricon's Jimmy Johnson merch, shouts out. I'm going to try and do like a weekly thing where we kind of like on Thursday or Friday, we kind of put out, if there's some new merch that came out or I missed one a few weeks prior, to call out that there's some beautiful merch out here and this is where you get it. And we're going to put all that on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and stuff so more eyes can see it and buy up the merch. Obviously, I'm not getting sponsored by any of this, but I just want to showcase some of the amazing NASCAR merch that is still being made out there rather than just like the AI slop that NASCAR decides to put out. So, this is where I kind of want to talk about the Jimmy Johnson stuff. It's beautiful. It's crisp. It's clean. I don't know who makes all the Tricon stuff. I got to figure this out. I would love to have him on or her. And because it always looks crispy clean. If you guys go on Krispy Kreme, shout out. And I'm a fucking idiot, dog. But if you go on Tricon's website, that merch is always dialed in. I don't think there's ever been a hard L on any of their merch. It is always, you can tell that they found, it's like a tattoo artist. You find your style, you find your way, what you like, how you do it, and you go with it. So obviously they got the same person doing that merch all the time, and they nail it every time. But everybody knows that Ryan Williams created absolute 2 bombs for Connor Zilich's first 2 Cup Series shirts in 2026. The white one, okay, first off, make sure to go at Eric Furlong 21 on Instagram, at Furlong Eric __ on TikTok and Twitter, because we're going to post the reel. The time of listening to this, it should be out on all my socials. The reel I'm about to put, I put out, but it's breaking down how crazy Ryan is, and he keeps putting out hitter after hitter after hitter. And it is beautiful when you find that style, that beautiful art, and you find your style as a creator, and you notice those shirts. And when you go at a NASCAR track, for example, you go from hauler to hauler, merch hauler to merch hauler. You can pick out that Ryan's on this merch hauler, Ryan's on this one, because you can see the style he has. You can see he loves doing that all over print stuff. The big flashy designs on the front rather than some of the, I'll harp on it. This is going to be the best shirt on Trackhouse's merch haulers. A lot of their stuff fucking sucks, and this is going to pop and sell like hotcakes. They're going to sell out every single weekend. Ryan is killing it. You're going to see Raj's stuff out there, Kyle Busch stuff out there. Obviously the Connor Zilich stuff. He's done Chase Elliott stuff, Denny Hamlin stuff in the past, a bunch of people stuff. And it's going to be unreal. Obviously, he does all the junior motorsport stuff as well. He did all the shirts for Dale Jr.'s late model shit last year for Budweiser. And he's been killing it. Unreal all the time. I'm going to try and have him on again. Just be like, how was this process? And tell me where your mind was at with this and who came with you with this and what was your I'm going to try and get him on again this year. Obviously, going into the NASCAR season, it's very busy for him, and we're going to try and find some downtime for him. Yeah, and it would be cool to just do a little like, he's a very shy guy, or very quiet guy, very humble guy. It would be nice to do a little vlog thing with him in like North Carolina, and he can show me all of his favorite vintage spots. I would love that. Love that. But yeah, so Ryan Williams, go to the Trackhouse website, drop that Connor Zilic white t-shirt with Red Bull, and then the blue one that just fucking dropped on like Wednesday or Thursday as well. Unreal job. Creative minds always blow my mind, including like Harris Liu and his wife. Unreal jobs, unreal creativity, talent, and I'm always blown away. Even like the people that do all the photography and the editing and for NASCAR, or the teams or the drivers, blows my mind what's going on up in their own mind. So get out there, buy some merch, look fresh as fuck. It's money well spent. Okay, so let's get into some bets, guys. How about that? Okay, we're about how far? And I feel like we're almost getting to an hour probably. Oh, 36 minutes. It's actually not bad. We're on time. I thought this went way longer, brother. All right, Clash Race. I'm on Bet365. I also did notice when I was watching UFC this past weekend that I think Bet365 might be the main sponsor, at least for a lot of the betting lines on UFC now. I didn't see as much DraftKings stuff for a lot of like I think it was like, if you guys go watch the Volkanovski card this weekend, if you guys are into UFC, I think when they come up with like all the parlays and the props and everything, I think Bet365 is that sponsor for it now. So interesting, because I love Bet365. Just a point for you guys, if this is your first time getting into NASCAR gambling, I'd highly recommend, if you get available Bet365 to you. I'll give you a little snippet here. I feel like they're very slow, at least in the past few years, very slow at when a bunch of money comes in on, because NASCAR is such a small niche market. I feel like Bet365 can be very, very slow at moving the odds when a bunch of money comes in. Say, for example, I'll give it a top 10. It takes a lot longer than FanDuel and DraftKings, where it snaps pretty much very fast. Their system is very quick at changing the odds and shortening the lines. So and with Truck Series, it can be very solid. A lot of books can be very hit or miss with Truck Series, but Bet365 usually has a lot better numbers. I know that the score in Canada, which is, I think it's like ESPN Bet or something like that in the States, they can usually be pretty good with lines as well. But I would highly recommend have multiple books, find your best lines. I think that's your biggest pointer, as like, yeah, you can sound like a degenerate when you have 7 or 8, 10 books, sports books, but you want the best line, and the more books, the better. So you can find the best line, the longest line, the most value. So that's your tip there. But for Bet365 for Truck Series is great. I know that last year with Xfinity, not all books would always have top 10s, but I know Bet365 for now, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, was having top 10s. I know they brought them back later on in the year of Xfinity last year. So Bet365 is kind of just always what I use. It's easy for me to pull up on my laptop when I'm talking about odds. So throughout the year when we do the Friday morning betting show, I'll probably be just having a lot of, if I'll put them in my notes if I do have bets on my phone, and I'll obviously put out what lines I got from what book. But if I kind of just like I'm going to do today, and just kind of talk you guys through of where my mindset is at. Don't really have many bets since practice and qualifying. We might not even get it. And if we do, it could be very odd. And the time we race, it could end up being on Monday, whatever. We're just going to kind of break down. So like anytime I'm breaking down and talking through some of the bets, if I don't have a lot, it's always going to be through Bet365. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so we've got a good solid market actually for the Clash. Now, the biggest thing is actually, let me try and find who's already locked in or not for the Clash race. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find this information, but I'd like to try and find this. So obviously, okay, so let's talk about this actually, the event format. Practice and qualifying, heat race is the starting position equals fastest practice time in final session. Right? Did I say that right? NASCAR Cup Series field will be split into 3 practice groups, with each group receiving 3 sessions. Each competitor's fastest lap time from their final practice session will determine the starting lineup for the heat races. Okay, makes sense. Plain and simple, easy. Heat races, 25 laps each. There's 4 of them. Heat race lineups are set by fastest practice time in the final practice session. Yeah. Only green flag laps count. No overtime. The top 5 from each heat advance through to the Clash. Gotcha. Okay. 22 lock in through their finishes in the heat race. Okay, so we're not guaranteed any spots if you won like last year. Let me just read through this. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Do we have any I just want to see if we have anybody like where everybody's going to be at. You know? Also, shout out to Connor Zillich for racing, and then now I'm just looking at Bob Hawkers' Twitter here, or X, for riding around for like 4 hours under caution at the Rolex 24 on the weekend. That was crazy, dude. I couldn't even imagine. It's like going 4 hours in traffic, dude. See, I think this is the toughest part about betting super early on in this Clash race is you don't even know who's going to be guaranteed for the final race. But at the same time, obviously, there's going to be guys that are going to be really good. I think one of my favorite lines is going to be like Bubba Wallace for a top 10. It's going to be some of my favorites. Josh Berry as well. That's the only thing is I think your bet is a void if they don't make it to the final race. So that's the biggest thing. Is check your book. Contact the bookie. See what they say about if you place a bet. Say Bubba Wallace plus 160. It's kind of where my mind's at. Plus 160 for the Clash race. And if he doesn't make the Clash race, do I get my money back? I think that's a very important thing, is to look at what all your info is. Is it null and void? I'm assuming FanDuel, because FanDuel fucking sucks ass. I'm assuming FanDuel ain't giving your money back. It is well known that FanDuel is probably the worst sports book for getting your money back and making a bet void. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm not going to really dive too much into this. Obviously, last chance qualifier. Remaining 5 positions from each heat race continue through the last chance qualifier, with their starting position being determined by where they finish in their heat races. Oh boy. Only green flag laps count, no overtime. The top 2, and this is my favorite race, is the ones like they are just beating and banging. Now I assume maybe Ty Gibbs might have to be in that one. Now I wish that like in this Clash race, if you won last year, you were guaranteed a spot. I feel like that would help a lot. But most of the drivers, they just pop up to the front, like, because you're going to have drivers like AJ Allmendinger and Todd Gilliland and Noah Gragson and Riley Herbst. And so I think if they come out with who's in what heat races, I think you can kind of like, okay, I can start firing off some like positional bets, possibly. Because you're going to be like, okay, so say my group is Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Bubba Wallace, Christopher Bell, and then you go Noah Gragson, Todd Gilliland, AJ Allmendinger, and Riley Herbst, or something like that, right? I just kissed the microphone, my bad. If those are like the guys, you're assuming that Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, and like Bubba Wallace are all getting in because their cars are so much better and they'll have a lot more talent. But guys like Josh Berry, what does the 21 even come? Also, we got a different tire and we got the new short track package with the horsepower. I think that kind of just favors like guys like Ryan Blaney and fucking Joey Logano. If you watched the Clash race last year, Ryan Blaney was starting in the rear or damn near close to the rear, and he fucking moved all the way through and then just couldn't get past Chase Elliott. And he finished second or third? As we know, Ryan Blaney is a god at these tracks, and it's like a Martinsville, and you're just fucking flying. He just flies through the field. And with more horsepower, I assume that him or Joey Logano is going to get up there. They're just good at these kind of races. Joey Logano's sitting at like 12-1 to win the race, so I'm on that for sure. There's nothing worse than having to see Joey Logano and these guys are like, oh, well, it's going to be the talk of the town. Is Penske really going to be able to figure this out this year with this new car and this new playoff format? Will they be able to get to the final 10 races here and be in a championship form and not have 10 million DNFs and actually compete for wins and races here and not actually just get into the playoffs and try and like the last few years and just win at the specific time and get a championship four and then just dominate in Phoenix. That was too long of a bit, so we're just gonna move on from that. But that could be the talk of the town. I mean, we had like Chase Elliott last year win it, right? And then I went, that guy ain't doing shit all year. Now he's consistent. Not enough to win a championship, though. So, what do we like top Toyota? Let's just kind of go through this, all right? Top Toyotas, we got Denny Hamlin, plus 185. Christopher Bell, plus 250. Oh, well. Denny Hamlin should be up there. My only thing is like, mindset. Where is he at? Has he been driving? What has he been doing? Has he been dedicated? With everything going on with his family, where is he at? Right? It's a bit of a tough market. I don't really like any of the lines. Fords. Man, Ryan Preece, I hope he can really keep going with this. I really hope that he can keep going. Shout out Chad Fincham. Don't bet on, please. I really hope that Ryan Preece can keep doing his thing like he did last year. But Chris Buescher fared out really well last year in the Clash race. I don't see that happening again this year. And what does Josh Berry bring? But Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano, those are the top guys. I'm not surprised. As long as they don't get cleared out, they'll be up there. I'm not a big fan of these like top Chevy, these top Toyota markets. What happened? Trying to pull a top Chevrolet and it don't want to come up, boy. All right. We're just going to say no top Chevrolet market. Top 10s. And this is the thing is where I'm just going to be spitballing here. Okay. Bubba Wallace plus 160. I like that. Bubba Wallace has been pretty solid at these like short track races. Just been solid. Really good. Was good here last year. I think he ended up getting a top 5 in the Clash race. So plus 160, as long as if your bet, this is personally, I think Bubba Wallace is also very aggressive. He's going to make those moves. As long as he doesn't make the aggressive move on the wrong guy and they get back to him. As long as they don't get back to him, I feel like he's going to be in the top 10. He's going to push his way through. He's been good quality race car driver. He obviously won last year, and I feel like he can keep moving on through and thriving and prospering and getting wins. And this would be a good start to the year again, just getting a good solid top 10. And so if you get a book that says if he doesn't make the race, doesn't make the Clash race, that'd be a big disappointment, a really blow to his ego at the beginning of the year. That's not what we want for how hard he can be on himself. So you root for him. And as long as the book says, yeah, if he doesn't make the last chance or he doesn't make the actual final race and you'll get your money back, I feel like that's a solid bet right there with Bubba Wallace at plus 160. If there's a better number out there, obviously check. I haven't really been searching around. We're just spitballing here. But Bubba Wallace at plus 160, I feel like is a solid-ass number, man. Let's look at these other numbers here. Carson Hosbaum. Don't really like that. He's gonna have a tough time making that final race. Kyle Busch, no. Ross Chastain did pretty well last year. I feel like William Byron gets pushed around a lot here. Not very good. If you compare this to like a Martinsville, he's not usually very good at Martinsville. Yeah, he like showed up last year or whatever, but like, or the year prior to that, or whatever's in the spring race. But like those fall races, like the guy cannot figure it out and he gets pushed around a lot. So like that scares me with anything William Byron. Anything in the plus markets? I don't know how Ty Gibbs is going to show up, man. I wish Josh Berry was like a 3-1, you know? If he can make the final race. Josh Berry's really good on these short tracks. I feel like Josh Berry at plus 200, if these lines open back up and he's like plus 200 and he's made the final race, I feel like that's a pretty solid number. If you can get your money back, Josh Berry at plus 200 for a short track like this, I feel like is pretty solid. It's pretty solid. I think he got one last year too, right? If I'm not mistaken, or at least damn close. But yeah, I like those for top 10s. Bubba Wallace plus 160, Josh Berry plus 200. Guys that have just been really good on short tracks, and I feel like some solid value right there. They might get bumped around a lot and moved around a lot, but I think they'll be there. Top 5s, a lot of bumping. A lot of just hard pressing, and you could have a guy in the top 5 and one guy just sends him out of the way. It really does scare me. I like that top 10s. We're not going to go super heavy on this race only because of the weather. So I already have the bet on outright Ryan Blaney at plus 650. I feel like you got to go with these Fords. You got to go with these Penske guys. Obviously, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin will be good. Maybe Chase Briscoe, Christopher Bell will be up there, but these Penske cars, they just seem to bring it in these class races. Joey Logano's won, 1 or 2 of them. Ryan Blaney almost won last year. They just figure it out. They know how to turn the nose of that car, roll through the center of the corner really well, and I feel like they'll just be able to adapt really well with all the cold weather and everything like that. I feel like it really plays into those guys' hands, as well as like Denny Hamlin and stuff too, but just the history on these short tracks. Even if Ryan Blaney's starting in the rear of the field, I could see him just carve through the field real fast. And then Ryan Blaney plus 650 on plenty of books. And then Joey Logano on plenty of books. He's at plus 1,200. Little sprinkle. These are just like half unit, quarter unit plays. I might put a full unit on Bubba Wallace for a top 10 as well as Ryan Preece. And then, little sprinkles on the outright. And then we just enjoy the race. Keep it simple. Keep it light. Daytona, I'm not going to really have many bets. I'm going to do actually a lottery system. I'll explain this to you guys. A little lottery system. I'm going to have a bunch of friends over for the Daytona 500. We're going to have all the numbers of the grid for the Daytona 500. Wherever anybody qualifies, you'll put your hand in a hat. We'll all get a certain amount of drivers, and we'll all put $20 in, and whatever number you pull out is the number on the grid, and whatever driver that is on the number on the grid, that's who you get. And then say you get like 3-4 drivers, whoever's driver wins, they win the pot. I think this is a good, solid game. We'll have a bunch of drinks and food. I'm really excited for the Daytona 500. It's going to be a fucking blast. And then I'm not going to really be that's what I'm going to be putting my money on. If anything, I might take like a Bubba Wallace or Ross Chastain, put $10-20 on those guys, my favorite drivers, and then hope they win the Daytona 500, and then you win big. But that's what I'm going to be doing for the Daytona 500. So those races are always fun. You just don't want to go broke at the first 2 races in the year where it's Daytona, Atlanta. I've lost a lot just in the past, not listening to myself, and just you want to just bet, you want to create, you fiend for that fucking thrill to win at Daytona and hit a betting slip at Daytona. But this year I'm going to keep it light, and then when we actually get into the real tracks, that's when we'll start actually really heavily betting. So that's the plan for the Daytona race in a few weeks. So that's been the Hot Pass podcast. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I've really been enjoying doing and putting it up on YouTube, doing the audio version. So make sure to go to the Hot Pass podcast on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe to the podcast, comment, share it with a friend. I really appreciate it. You guys are doing a great job. I still got to invest in some better lighting and stuff. But I feel like it looks pretty good. I've had no real big, huge complaints on the visuals or the audio version. So I really appreciate you guys. Go to the Hot Pass Podcast, wherever you get your audio podcast, Spotify, Apple, wherever. Leave a 5-star rating. I really appreciate that. And it's really important. And then go to @FurlongEric__ on X and TikTok to make sure to see all the betting slips, any sort of daily stuff going on with me, as well as all my social media posts, as well as Eric Furlong 21 on Instagram. You guys can see all my reels on there on a weekly basis. And then you guys will get the full betting cards for the Truck Series and O'Reilly Series an hour or two before the races on all those social media platforms. Go to the link in the bio wherever you find me. Go to the Action Network. You'll see all the Cup Series bets for Sunday plays throughout the week. We're over plus 200 units all time on the Action Network, so make sure to go follow there. And I think that's it. All right. Enjoy the Hot Pass Podcast. I appreciate you guys showing love, and we'll see you guys next week. There'll be maybe some more championship odds for trucks and for O'Reilly Series. God, I got to really work on that. I really hope that we do. We'll have a little bit of that. Well, hopefully there's some more news. And then it's Speed Week. It'll be Super Bowl's over, and then it's Speed Week down at Daytona. And then in 3 weeks from the time of recording this, I'll be in Atlanta. I'm pumped. Let's go. Hot Pass Podcast. Talk to you guys next Friday. See you. Peace.